Here at Rockwell Automation's world headquarters, research has been proceeding to develop a line of automation products that establishes new standards for quality, technological leadership, and operating excellence. With customer success as our primary focus, work has been proceeding on the crudely conceived idea of an instrument that would not only provide inverse reactive current for use in unilateral phase detractors, but would also be capable of automatically synchronizing cardinal gram meters. Such an instrument, comprised of Dodge gears and bearings, Reliance electric motors, Allen Bradley controls, and all monitored by Rockwell software, is Rockwell Automation's retro encabulator. Now basically, the only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of conductors and fluxes, it's produced by the modial interaction of magnetoreluctance and capacitive diractance. The original machine had a base plate of prefamulated amulite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in a direct line with a panametric fan. The lineup consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic Marsal vanes, so fitted to the ambifacient lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented. The main winding was of the normal Lotus-O deltoid type placed in panendermic semi-boloid slots of the stator. Every 7th conductor being connected by a non-reversible Tremie pipe to the differential girdle spring on the up end of the gram meters. Moreover, whenever fluorescent score motion is required, it may also be employed in conjunction with a drawn reciprocation dingle arm to reduce sinusoidal depleneration. The retro encabulator has now reached a high level of development, and it's being successfully used in the operation of Milford trunnions. It's available soon wherever Rockwell Automation products are sold. The original machine had a base plate of prefamulated amulite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in a direct line with a panametric fan.
Yes, that was once me, extolling the virtues of retroencabulation. Now, I may not be the dashing young on-camera narrator I once was, but if history tells me anything, it's that the Battle of Hastings was fought in 1066. But that's not the point. The point is that encabulation has a rich, sumptuous history with a delicate, flaky crust, relatively unknown to emergent cybersecurity personnel. Allow me to elucidate. The discovery of encabulation was quite accidental when engineers in the skunk works at Mutual Polydynamics coupled a transcendental Hopper datoscope with a spiral decommutator via the application of anhydrous angling pins, resulting in a device that allowed frenetic mastication at alarming speeds. The device was kept secret for many years, owing to the horrific accident that occurred shortly after its inception. Howsoever, the U.S. Department of Defense and the National Guard soon realized its potential as a weapon of choice, leading to its next iteration, the hydroencabulator, which they nicknamed Fat Boy Slim. Understanding the grisly bare fact of the devastation that would result from its deployment, the project was retubed and transmogrified for industrial supplications. This version, known as the pseudo-encabulator, was the infernal Faustian engine that allowed post-war America to realize its aspirations and become the domino player on the world stage. Everybody was encabulating.
I don't understand you.
Well, I knew you wouldn't, but if I'd have told you before, the answer meter on the other side prenulates the canoe to spell hepulous, and that's the entire secret. There you have it.
During the tumultuous 60s, the psycho-funkadelic vinyl encabulator emerged as the long-haired hippie people's answer to their parents' aging technology, scarving a resonance groove in the hot wax of a new generation of encabulators. However, interest in encabulation waned precipitously until the late 80s, when the public was ready for the next transubstantiation of encabulation, the extraordinarily populist turbo encabulator.
Now, basically, the only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of conductors and fluxes, it is produced by the modal interaction of magneto-reluctance and capacitive directance.
Which brings us to where we are today, floundering in the wake of the obscenely similar retro encabulator, featuring yours truly, living proof that leveraging existing assets is not plagiarism. Now, despite encabulation's unparalleled success in reducing sinusoidal depleneration through advanced dingle arm technology, it has failed to meet the unanticipated needs of the cybersecurity industry to create zero-trust operations in level zero monitoring environments to ameliorate zero-day process attacks. That is why, despite zero interest from industry, the SANS ICS security team has taken it upon themselves to develop an entirely new level of encabulation, unresponsive to the needs of the average consumer and undoubtedly without merit in terms of concomitant asynchronous communication with client-side connectivity. Ladies and gentlemen, ISACs of all sectors, beer included, and children of all ages, may I present the hyper-encabulator. The hyper-encabulator is nothing less than a key ruminant in the advancement of retrograde phenomenology, by which we can achieve results that are plastic, spastic, and synosynclastic without sacrificing both normative reality and AI-informed modalities. You'll note that the hyper-encabulator utilizes indiscrete modules, making possible virtualized environments that include PLC-controlled stand-up reheaters, as well as Ruthenium-based cloud benders. It also includes a dedicated OT Security Operations Center access panel, known as the SOC drawer. The primary modules of the hyper-encabulator are stackable, DIN-rackable, and unhackable. And please note the complete absence of side fumbling, owing to the maintenance of tolerances allowing a tight conniption fit. Please take little note of this module. The open-source digital ghost daemon, which allows transparent OT invisibility owing entirely to the manipulation of airborne particulate matter and single-surface reflective devices. Or, for criminal infrastructure sectors where the dependability of supramotive Wendelsprox is essential, our handsome ransomware hypervisor is perpetually alert to SQL injections of gates tracking chips and quantum IoT identification dots. Moreover, whenever a pen test is elected to assure the integrity of a safety instrumented system, our Purdue model modal module defeathers and plucks clean every proverbial fox in the henhouse and keeps would-be intruders wondering which metaphor got mixed first. As you can see, the hyper-encabulator has reached a high level of development. Whereas previous dissimilar devices operated under the concept of manumatic stressor reduction and macroeconomic supply chain SBOMs, the hyper-encabulator operates totally under the principle of colonic effluvium expulsion and audible gaseous eructations. Thomas Edison once said that invention was 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. If that's the case, Thomas Edison should have invented deodorant. But I regress. In the near future, hyper-encabulation will ultimately replace all traditional cybersecurity safeguarding processes with osculating segmentation and entropic astrogation, making what was once thought to be impossible, probable. At SANS ICS Security, when we're not innovating, we're encabulating.
Everybody got that? You made us like this. Stop. All right, stop. Encabulate and listen. No, for Trunch is back with the brand new invention. I understood most of those words, just not together. Yeah. I think that thing just got you pregnant. No. Help. It went too fast to take notes. 5x speed, please. No, I will not repeat it, and this will be on the test. Confusion is the best security. Nice. Yes. How do I integrate it with generative cloud-based AI agents? Well, you need to take the hydrocoptic marsal vein and fit it to the ambifacial lunar wane shaft to initiate and prevent side fumbling. Side fumbling is a byproduct of generative cloud-based AI transmographies? Yeah, I think that's the right word. So, you know, do that. A drawn reciprocating dingle arm. Welcome to Space News. Hi, everybody. You should see my students' jaws drop when I show them the turbo encabulator and tell them that it'll be on the test. Yes! Can you elaborate? No. I do have a box from Hokey, a viewer, to open, and it has fix-it tape on it. Walmart. Hokey, do you see the box? Is it weird seeing the box that you sent here?
Oh, this is space.
Oh,
I'm in space.
Sub. Okay, you're here. Where do I invest into this technology? Sans ICS. Yep. Is it weird? Is it like Wonka Vision? You had this in your hands a couple of days ago, and now it's here, virtually on the internet. Hokey went to Walmart. He went to Walmart. Hey, Natch. So we're going to start the Space News, the Space and Rocket Review, with an unboxing here. Let's see, Hokey. Hokey wanted me to open this on stream and said it's tangentially space-related. It's a mini combobulator? Oh, yeah. I've always wanted one of those. Always wanted one of those. I always wondered how Plumbuses got made. The last two items are the power supply PSU box, and that's the thing wrapped in paper in that order. PSU? Oh no, what is this? Oh. Gotta find the key with the sharper profile. It was supposed to be opened on Christmas morning. No, it was specifically requested to be open right now. So we're gonna do a little bit of unboxing to start Space News here. He's milking. I'm not milking the suspense. Tape this damn thing. This fix-it tape's really annoying. It has fix-it tape and then shipping tape on top of that. Okay. Okay. How did you tape the box up if the tape is inside of the box? How did you do that? You got me duct tape. Is this toilet paper? Open this last. They're defective coupons. This is a Coffee stain. Cost effective. Efficiency. Non-lethal. Okay. All right. Fix-it shirt. Okay. Really liking the satisfactory motif. It's actually really cool. Really? Really? Can I show them this, or... Like, is that cool, or... Your dad worked for... Well... Your old man worked for Babcock and Wilcox. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty neat. Those are super cool. Frickin' punch cards. The Nuclear Power Generation Division. Sick. There's two more things in the box here that say open last. So, Hokey, we'll see what this is. What is this one? That's a freaking punch card. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, like. So, Babcock and Wilcox, guys, make nuclear reactors. Yeah, the nuclear power generation. They make nuclear power plants. Oh dear. Oh dear. Jeez, man. Well, that's pretty neat. I'm going to put it here in case Titan runs in here and knocks it down and breaks it. That happened with a coffee mug a little while ago. Not the Ford mug. The Ford mug's fine. That's really cool, man. Thank you. All right. These are the ones that say open last. So let's try this one first. What is this one? Wait, two of them are labeled open last. So which one is it? That's the second one of those. The first one got lost at the P.O. box. Box first, then the thing in paper. This isn't a power supply, is it? Where'd you get this, guy? Should we have this, or... Monev? Okay. Just say it's fake. Yeah. It's 3D printed. Yeah, it's 3D printed, guys. Okay. It's not the real deal. But very nice, though. But the next thing... Yeah, we'll just put that one back in the box. We'll just put that one back in the box and probably not show that on stream ever. This is going to go in my collection of things that I'm never showing on stream from the industry. Yeah. One in my collection. Oh, boy. Ooh, Nelly. You have shown a fin. Yeah, that's right. It's a really nice 3D print, Monev. Very nice. How could you tease us like that? Is it one of those things that you certainly do not have in your possession? Yeah, yeah. Okay, Hokey, what's the last one? You know what? I'm just going to open this down here, you know, just in case. Oh, sick. Oh, all right. Hey, all right. Considering they're sold on eBay and even sold across the street from the build site, I'm pretty sure it's okay for you to show the thing. Okay. Turn it around. On the white side, there's more. What do you mean, Mono? Like this, right here? It's got the serial number on the back. The serial number is a custom one. Yeah, okay. 154 on the serial number. This is 3D printed, guys, but it's the right size. Okay? You know how I know it's the right size? Because here's a piece of one. That's what was in the box. Yeah, note it's in the bag. Don't touch them. It's like touching fiberglass. Don't do that. Yeah. Well, I must say that's a pretty nice care package. Or as long as we're here, it can go with my collection of other tile pieces that I have. They are fake. Wink, wink. Please test. Do something ridiculous. You want me to hit it with a blowtorch? Can you explain why it's bad to touch? This is unifibrous composite. Think like it's like touching fiberglass. Don't. It's a unifibrous composite tile. You have to. Yeah, don't touch it. Yeah, you'll get very itchy. How light is it? Consistency of styrofoam. You want me to hit it with the torch? Damn shop, and I can't find the dang torch. That's really annoying. Found it. What? Oh boy? Dude, you asked for this. Okay. Your fault. Immediately dissipated it. Nope, nothing. That's not the piece you sent. It's the other piece. This piece isn't in the bag. Did you see that thing dissipate the heat? Is that cool or what? See? Look, nothing. Oh, she's glowing. She's glowing. Oh, look. Just move the heat around. Nothing. Nothing. It's not even hot on the back. How many times have you done this before? Conduct material science tests? Yeah, a lot. Isn't that cool? Look. That's actually, this side is extremely hot. This side, nothing. Nothing. It's not hot at all. That is a tile from IFT1. Oh yeah, so is this. There you go, man. Material science at work. How's that for a science experiment? Is that cool or what? I'm gonna put this out on concrete so it doesn't burn something down because this front side, the windward side, is actually still really, really hot. You know what? Screw this. I'm doing it one more time because that's super cool. Dude, look at how much heat you got to put in this thing before it gets hot. And look at it dissipate. That's so damn cool. Oh, that's awesome. Look. Did you see it shed the heat? Is that cool or what? Look, it's not even burnt on the back. How much heat can it take before it melts in general? If I had a whole tile, I'd be able to tell you that a little bit better. Long story short, a lot. The reason why is because of the porous structure of the tile. I heard a crackle. No, don't worry. That was me missing with the flame and burning some of my thumb. Don't worry about that. It didn't. It's fine. I'm good. What if you dip it in water? You wouldn't want to do that with this. Dipping the tile in water, because the tile is porous, can get water trapped inside. Pretty cool, huh? Don't do this at home. Not that you have thermal tiles, but don't go around with the torch when you don't know what you're doing. Seriously. I'm a professional moron. I get paid for it. Don't do dumb stuff. Pretty cool though, huh? Thermodynamics at work, baby. Yeah, see? Thumb is fine. Well, Hokey, that's this is one of the cooler things that I've gotten, I'd say. Monev, excellent job on this 3D print, dude. It's really, really nice. In the base of the stand is one of the metal inserts they shove into the three sides. Hence the white lines on the edges. Oh. I get it. Well, now we know how they adhere. Dude, this is some really nice 3D printing. Hey, John. Wait, just got here. What was the blowtorch for? Yeah, you would. Well, that's going up on my shelf of really, really cool things. Can we find out what exact ceramic... Can we figure out how to reverse engineer this? I'm not doing that. Dude, Mono, this thing is thick, man.
This is space. I'm in space.
But I'm going to give this stuff the blowtorch. This is awesome, dude. That's super cool, man. Thank you. Freaking thermal tiles. I got thermal tiles all over my damn office. Hokey, hearing you say that was okay to do actually made me pretty happy, because I've had Ship 20 tiles sitting on my wall over there. It's more than just that one piece, by the way. I've had Ship 20 tiles sitting on my wall there for a long time, and I'm like, oh, I'd really love to do that, but this is awesome, man. Very nice care package, dude. Was it Ship 20? No, 24. 24? I forget, dude. I don't even remember. Do you have shuttle equipment? Yes. Can I show it to you? No. No, I have pieces of the shuttle's payload bay in my house. I bet those tiles would be useful in the kitchen. Tony's still in the rocket garden. Yep. Did you just eat the tile? Yes. No. They're cough drops, dude. Yeah, I have the business card right here, dude. How cool was that? Pretty good stuff, man. Thank you. Yeah, Foz, fellas, and in my business, I've been doing this for a long time. In my business, with this business, what we do here, you err on the side of caution all the time. Think before you show something on stream. Like, not you, I mean, you can show whatever you want on your stream. I don't really care. But really, I'm really careful with this stuff on purpose. I don't need someone coming knocking at my damn door. Hokey, Monev, thank you, boys. Appreciate it. That's sweet gifts. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's why we love your attention to detail. Yep. It's not like you refined uranium like Cody's lab. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Look what happened there. Whoops. What's the size of the printed tile? It's about 30 centimeters across, James. Well, there are other content creators out there that had people show up at their house. Let me put it to you like that. But anyway, pretty cool, huh? Took the torch to the tile. It didn't do nothing. Just heated it up. But it's crazy because did you see the flux on the tile? Do you see? When I was heating it up, did you see how it got really, really red and then the red immediately went away? It's not only the ability for it to take, like, to absorb heat. It fluxes the heat. It can move it around. That's the other thing that makes the tiles so damn good. They can move heat around really easily. That's because of the porous design of the tile. It kind of looks like a sponge almost. And the idea is that you can disperse, if you have something that's really good at absorbing heat and it's a porous structure that's really good at absorbing heat, you're introducing more surface area to the heat being introduced. More surface area over a wider area will absorb more heat. Pretty straightforward stuff. Due to the degree of insulation, the heat stays at the surface and actually heated mass is way low. It moves it. Did you see how quickly it just dispersed the thing? It's pretty cool, man. I remember seeing a picture of a dude holding a hot shuttle tile by the... Yeah, that was a silicate-based tile. That's a unifibrous composite. A little bit different. But, Hokey, it's good to know that I can do that. So that means I can just go grab the torch and show people this every time. I just got an interesting idea. Anyway. No, GG. No. What are you talking about, man? Incoming, EJ burns down his garage. No, never do that. That's super cool, dude. Thanks, Monev. Thanks, Hokey. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Monev, send it to Predominant. Send it to Graham. Yeah, he wants one. It'll be a different serial number. Yes. We can't see EJ for that bright light bulb above his head. Reading a book. Burning a tile. I just got another good idea. I'm gonna save that one. I'm gonna put it right here in the Cletus pocket. Yeah, see? There's a Cletus pocket right there. It is a Cletus idea. As far as I know, you can. SpaceX has told individuals that they don't care about the fragments other than letting them know where they were found if there's a serial number. I can't say about the other parts, like pieces of engines. But from what I learned down in Boca, it's fine to have. Yeah. Yeah, Hokey. I've had those Ship 2024. I've had Ship 24 tiles sitting up there for a long time, dude. Not really sure what to do with them. And then I have more down at the house. I have a super secret squirrel collection of stuff that legal to have, all legal to have, legal within all lawful purposes. Just in case anybody weird is watching. No ITAR stuff. I have stuff that like mementos and stuff that was I can't not going to show on stream out of respect for the people that gave it to me. Yeah, sure, Hellfish. But no flight termination system. All of my stuff, all the stuff that I have in my house on the premises are complying with all facets of armed traffic's control regulations. Yeah, it's just stuff people said don't show this on stream. That's all. Yes, Coltec, I do. Just make sure your local fire station is staffed before playing with torches. Yeah. All right. Next heat shield coffee table. Oh, jeez. Dude, I want to do that again. Heat the dang thing with the torch. That was fun. Super cool, though. Anyway, shall we space news? Jet engine pointed at heat shield tile. The Babcock and Wilcox cards were a last minute, oh crap, he would love this thought. Yeah. So, speaking of Starship tiles, anyway, space news, I need to drive home. Speaking of Starship tiles, you guys might appreciate this next bit of news here. Check this out. Adrian got a statement from the FAA. I'm going to shut that off and shut that off. So, the FAA reached out to NSF. Today, the FAA has issued a license modification authorizing SpaceX to launch multiple missions of the Starship Super Heavy vehicle on the Flight 7 mission profile and vehicle configuration. The FAA determined SpaceX met all safety, environmental, and other licensing requirements for the suborbital test flight. The FAA continues to increase efficiencies in our licensing determination activities to meet the needs of the commercial space transportation industry. This license modification that we are issuing is well ahead of Starship Flight 7 launch date and is another example of the FAA's commitment to enable safe space transportation. The Flight 7 mission profile involves the launch of the combined Starship Super Heavy vehicle from Boca Chica, Texas, a return to the launch site of the Super Heavy booster rocket for a catch attempt by the launch tower, and a water landing of the Starship vehicle in the Indian Ocean west of Australia. Please contact SpaceX for information about its planned launch date. That folds nicely into this one. The FAA takes steps to streamline launch licensing process. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we have the launch license for Flight 7. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. I think the FAA did this on purpose. Hey, Agent Smart 40-month resub. And then before that, Predominant gifted a month of tier 1 sub to Blowtorch. Maybe Hibbit. I would contend to say that regulatory framework 450 is, yeah, it's just taking a second for everything to get situated, which is what I've been saying for a long time. I think the FAA is sending a message. Exactly, Ben. They were showing that they aren't the bottleneck. They did that on purpose. They released the Flight 7 license before SpaceX even announced before it even got to we're waiting for the FAA pending regulatory approval. They did that on purpose, which is pretty funny. But yeah, Starship is going to attempt another catch with the booster. They're going to try to do this again with the next pair. So what's the next pair? Booster 14 and ship 33. Because 32 was scrapped.
I'm in space.
All Systems gifted a sub to Starship. Booster 14, ship 33. Speaking of that, I did cover this a little bit earlier, but SpaceX released engineering footage from the single-engine static fire yesterday. You guys are probably going to want to see this. Headphone users. Just headphone users, okay? I'll give you 10 seconds.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Novoraptor gifted a sub to Super Heavy, okay. Brandon, I don't know. Newglands is going to get its license soon, though. That's not Raptor 3, guys. It's Raptor 2. It's not that loud? Hey, I give the warning just in case. I forgot to mention that when that third of a tile piece came, I also get a very small built, maybe 1.5 inch piece of an SN11 tile that's going to Matt. Oh, cool. This was a 3 to 5 second static fire that took place yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, you can see the engine move. That Raptor's moving around. Guys, this is engineering footage. Yeah, this is awesome, dude. Check this out. So what denotes like engineering footage versus regular footage? The engineering footage is usually shot with a super high resolution camera, and engineering footage usually has extremely high contrast. You see how it's kind of really difficult to see anything up there? And I mean, guys, look at how dark the sky is in these shots. This was during the day. Same time of day right there. See? Was that loud enough for you? See what I'm talking about? Look at it. It looks like it's dusk there. It's straight up during the day, right? This footage is very overexposed and it's extremely high resolution to see the flow phenomenon coming out of the engine. Basically to look at the engine, to image the plume. That's what this is here for. Now, really cool stuff. So as we get towards the end of the footage, watch the shock diamond. Watch. Underexposed. Yes, that. Watch. Oh. As they throttle the engine down, the diamond basically works its way into a Mach disc. See? And then out. Pretty cool, huh? You see that chugging at the end? You see the flames chug like that? That's... You want to avoid doing that. You want to get rid of that as quickly as possible. That's not an easy thing to do. See, it's... What's going on there is that you're getting flow separation in the nozzle at lower throttles. Flow separation is perturbing the jet coming out of the rocket. See that? See how much it disrupts it? Because air is trying to get up inside of the nozzle. And then, yeah, you don't want to leave it like that for very long. It'll explode. Strange events are happening in Boca. Okay. Would you compare it to the top fuel dragsters chopping super hard at idle? No, not really. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. But yeah, awesome footage. Actually, you could see in this footage, if you watch here, watch the engine gimbal. Watch it. Crazy, huh? But how does low pressure flow separation have less damage? Low pressure flow separation? Flow separation is basically because of drag inside of the nozzle. Long story short, it introduces non-uniform heating, Repairy, and it also introduces a lot of weird vibrations into the nozzle, and that's not something you want. Weird vibrations that the rocket hasn't been tested for is not something you want to introduce. This is Massey's, yep. Mm-hmm. Considering the FAA releasing the license now and that paperwork NASA filed for January 11th date due to capture. Considering FAA releasing the license now and that paperwork NASA filed for a January 11th date to capture reentry, how likely is it that Flight 7 is that weekend? I'd say it's likely Nova, but I'm going to go ahead and cover my tracks that if you make plans for it and it doesn't launch on that date, do not get mad at me. Do you think the license means that there won't be a ship catch on Flight 8? I think there will be a ship catch on Flight 8, yeah. Yeah, yeah, guys, exactly. Some people already said it. You really want to pick up the good vibrations. That gives you excitations. Good vibe, good vibrations, vibe. No? We'll get DMCA. Better not. I have a feeling they'll launch on Christmas. Yeah. Bop. That's a good record, dude. For what it's worth. That's technically not a record, is it? But it should have been. No need for the subject to regulatory approval statement. Yep. Thank you, Noisegate. Part of the sessions for Pet Sounds. Yep. It's not an 8-track. No. Good Vibrations is off of a record that Brian Wilson never completed. Shame. Could have been better than Sgt. Pepper's. Could have. Could have been. Wasn't. Could have been. You highly doubt it would have been better? I think it would have. Just saying. Anyway. All right, so let's keep the news going. So this morning, the CRS-31 Dragon deorbited and landed, and SpaceX did recover it. It brought back down supplies from the ISS after undocking. Here, hold on. Don Pettit actually had an amazing shot of it undocking. Here, let me show you. Check that out. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That dragon is actually back down. Well, that was going on. Whilst that was going on, SpaceX this morning launched the L-124 mission for the National Reconnaissance Office. We did cover that this morning, but I'll show it to you real quick just to lift off here.
8, 7, 6.
It took off from Vandenberg. I don't know if you could tell.
2, 1, ignition. And liftoff of Falcon 9. Go SpaceX. Go NROL 149.
Bogdenberg. So that took off. That Falcon 9 did successfully land. There it is.
I love you in the Pacific Ocean.
I love you.
Which you can now see there on
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
This mission...
Of course, I still love you in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, of course I still love you. That was on booster 1063, which is flight 22. And then right before this space news, check this out. Right before this space news, SpaceX just launched SES O3B mPOWER 7 and 8 on a brand new Falcon 9. So we had a Falcon 9 fly for the 22nd time this morning, and then this afternoon we had another Falcon 9 fly for the first time. Both O3MB is still coasting right now. It's going to be coasting for a little while. But, yeah, that booster did land. Yep. So, yeah. 2 launches, 2 landings. A bit late, but I had this video about flow separation in my bookmarks. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we could show that real quick if you guys want a little more RE flow separation. This is kind of the stuff they figured out during the shuttle program. This was a old RS-25 engine test. When you get atmosphere going up inside of the nozzle, it makes a cavity in here, and that means the gases that are coming out of the engine separate. They get pushed off of the inner lining of the nozzle. That causes issues. Here, look. I don't know if you could tell. It's not working anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-oh. The heck was that? The motor. It's thrown a rod. Is that serious? Yep. Maybe it's still fine? Narrator. It was not fine. Yeah, it's in a few pieces. That's not going to buff out. Yeah, so did you see the nozzle moving around like that? That's really bad for it. That's a good way to bend and fatigue the metal. And it cracks the nozzle like an egg, basically. That's bad for it. Yeah, that's not great. Not great for it. So, moving on. Thank you, Forge, for linking that. What else was there? Forge, you did a bit of research about said engine in the footage. The nozzle cracked in the flange between the nozzle and the combustion chamber. Total loss. Yeah. Yeah, that's bad for it. Yuri, you recently watched an old documentation video about the shuttle and the 747 test, the approach and landing tests. Yeah. They basically stalled the 747 at 30,000 feet. And right when the 747 stalled, they let the shuttle go. That was the only way they could get a clean separation. How do I know that? That information may not have been in the documentary. How do I know that? Well, I've talked to the guy that was flying it when they did it. I had the privilege of talking to Fred Hayes about this at Space Fest 2019. Yeah, Fred Hayes from Apollo 13. Yeah, and the approach and landing tests. Yeah, good stuff. They I was thinking about it because, like, how do you jettison the shuttle? The shuttle doesn't fly very well. It flies very poorly. That is on purpose, but it flies very poorly. So how do you get it, 747, how do you get it to separate without the shuttle just hitting the rudder? Their solution? Stall. Stall the 747. Basically put it into a dive, stall it and then put it right into a dive. So basically do everything that you're not supposed to do with a 747, get the thing to fall down out of the sky and then jet the shuttle at the same time. And then the shuttle pilots on board would pull back, right, to get a higher angle of attack to generate more lift momentarily, and then the 747 gets out of the way and the shuttle does a nosedive at the runway. Yeah, that's how you do that. If you try to do it any other way, the shuttle is you're going to go separate your shuttle, Yuri, and it's going to hit the tail of the 747. Bad. Pretty much, Tim, yeah. I mean, no doubt induced master caution on the 747, Dead Scum. You're not supposed to stall that thing at 30,000 feet. That's really not a good idea. So, guys, I wanted to talk to you about another thing. Any videos of that? Oh, yeah, there's plenty. Hold on. You want to see that real quick? There was another thing I wanted to talk about for space news, but here, check this out. Headphones are running out of batteries. Hold on. I don't think it's needed, Aqualex. I think we got it. In case anybody else wants to see more about flow separation, check out what Aqualex linked. They did shuttle on 747. They did. So watch. See? Look at the 747 fall. Look at it fall away. This is in super slow motion, but see, it's just falls right out of the sky. Crazy, huh?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
It's hard to look at from this footage here, but look at it sped up. Like if I scrub through the thumbnail, look at how fast that 747 falls away. Note that in this shot, the shuttle is staying in center frame. So in case anybody says, oh, they moved the camera up. No, they didn't. It fell out of the dang sky. Look at where Enterprise's nose is relative to the screen. Dude, that thing just falls out of the sky. Pretty crazy, huh? Speed it up like you do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, there you go. That's actually a good idea. That's still not real time, but oh man, look at that thing fall. That's nuts, dude. That's actually super sketchy. That's actually super sketch. I did that several times right now with the 225 in your space plane. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, I don't think the Soviets ever did that, though. They never dropped one off. They used OKGLI and put jet engines on it. Yeah, that's them testing the heading alignment maneuver at Edwards. That's the exact, right there, what you see Enterprise flying, that's the exact trajectory that STS-1 took for landing. Landing at Rogers Dry Lake Bed. This is Edwards Air Force Base. Same runway and everything. Gear coming. Gear down. 50. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Oh no, he's really gliding. They let it glide for a little while. Dude, look at that footage. That's sick. Isn't that cool? Dude, she's a monster. The shuttle's ridiculous, man. Somehow, Chris B is sitting at his desk. Just went, shuttle, what? Yeah, Mick, that's right. Yeah, see that guy? Fred Hayes. That's the guy I talked to. Yeah, pretty cool. Wait a minute. Hold up a second. Fairmont? Maybe? Yes. Nah, maybe an LTD. When I said I did it, I mean I hit the AN 225 tail. Whoops. Pretty cool, huh? So, EJ Flex, EJ Car Flex. Can I say I like cars and spaceships? Can we ask Fred what sort of car it was? I don't think he knows. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mayor, let's, you know what? You know what? Let's mention the shuttle trainer aircraft while we're here. To practice approach and landing tests with the shuttle, NASA bought a Gulfstream. They bought a Gulfstream, and they outfitted this Gulfstream basically with the shuttle's flight deck. So check this out. Here's a picture of it. Look at, on the right side, it's Gulfstream 3. On the left side, it's Space Shuttle. Pretty cool, huh? Airplane hot rodding. Pretty cool. But see, if you're asking, well, you know, it's a Gulfstream. How did they use this for shuttle training? In order to get it to fly like the Gulfstream 2, in order to get it to fly like the Space Shuttle, they put the nose down, put the gear down, and turned on the thrust reversers in flight to get it to fly like the Space Shuttle. Any twin engine pilots out there? What should you never do when flying an aircraft with jet engines? Yes, turn on the thrust reversers. That's right. It goes in the square hole. Yeah. Yeah. That's how they train shuttle pilots throughout the shuttle program. By basically crash landing this Gulfstream without crash landing it. That will usually not end well. That's right. How do we make this plane fly the worst it possibly can? Oh, I know. Let's just turn on the thrust reversers and drop the gear and nosedive it. That's how badly the shuttle flies. There have been many losses due to exactly that. Yeah, that's one thing you should never do. Where do the thrust reversers do? That's right. They make the plane go into the square hole. Pretty cool, huh? Must have pushed the airframe on that Gulfstream. Seemed all right. It was cheaper than a C-17. I actually don't think that would induce much stress on the airframe, Joe, per se. With the exception of, you know, actually like, you know, shuttle training aside, that in normal flight conditions, that is a really, really, really nice induced failure mode. Emphasis on failure. Hey, Ewok. Is it true the shuttle had the glide slope of a rock? Pretty much. That said, I would be checking the engine mounts every time. Yeah, no, me too. Yeah, the shuttle never was designed to fly very well. It really isn't. But I should put an asterisk on that. The shuttle doesn't fly well down here. It's not really designed to fly correctly in subsonic conditions, or at least how we would expect a plane going lower than Mach 1 right? It's not really designed to do that. What it is designed to do is fly extremely well going Mach 25. Differences. 24 differences. At the very least. It's designed to fly well in a big, gigantic fire. Yeah. The tiles. Remember that whole tile part? It's a really good hypersonic glider. Yeah, it's very good at that. But once you go subsonic, it doesn't fly very well. It's about as aerodynamically efficient as strapping wings to a Union Pacific big boy and then trying to fly that. Yeah, it's about the same. Yeah. Do you know the approach angle on the runway for the space shuttle? Basically nosedive at the runway. I could show you a first person of it from a documentary that's, I know, safe to show. Military demanded high cross-range capability. That's right, David. Yeah, they did so they could do not abort once arounds. They could do a polar once around orbit with the space shuttle, launching Department of Defense payloads out of Vandenberg and doing one orbit and coming back down and landing. Shuttle needed the cross-range capability to be able to do something like that. They never did it. No, never was done. All right, here. You want to see your angle of attack? Watch this.
Oh, that's beautiful. Chase has a tally. Roger, checking. And we're seeing 1.3 Gs coming around the hat. Roger that.
Same heading alignment maneuver that I just showed you with the approach and landing tests. It's not an accident. Test as you fly.
The astronauts are making the final turn to line up with the runway.
Columbia, you're really looking good. Right on the money. Right on the money. And turning on to final, your winds on the surface are calm.
Black kind of winds.
You're right on the glide slope, Columbia.
How's that for a nosedive? Note that the T-38 right there, in order to fly in formation with the shuttle, is basically stalled with its landing gear down. Just like the shuttle trainer. Where do you think they got the idea? See, T-38 basically has to crash land and basically has to do a quote-unquote Navy carrier landing here to fly with the shuttle in formation. Music's fine, Yuri. Yep.
Chase reports no tile or other damage is evident underneath the shuttle. Columbia's altitude is not...
Now look at that relative to the horizon. What do you think about that? It's at least minus 20 degrees. I don't know what it is exactly, but I'll show you another
just
shot
over
here.
5,000 feet.
Oh, okay. Look at this shot here. That is about this right here. Maybe a tiny, tiny bit lower. See the approach for the runway? Now I'm going to unpause it and look at how quick it comes up. Watch.
the American working man and the American working woman, too. You can't imagine the variety of people who worked on this vehicle, from all walks of life, all capabilities and limitations. It's all due to their individual efforts. They proved that they can do the job. They proved it for the world to see. And I'm mighty proud to be associated with folks like that.
What a tribute indeed.
One of my all-time favorite quotes from John Young, I mean, amongst everything else. The other one is, "I'm not dead yet. Why are you naming roads after me?" Yeah, that's the other one. Anyway, so I wanted to show you guys something that I thought was pretty funny. So there's all those comments and stuff, you know, that John Young's leaving. Watch this on mute, okay? Watch this on mute and just watch John Young come off this thing. So if you don't know who John Young is, he's one of the most legendary NASA astronauts of all time. The guy flew to the moon twice, landed one time on the moon, flew the space shuttle twice, and before all that, he did 2 Gemini missions, right? 2 Gemini missions, 2 Apollo missions, 2 shuttle flights. Pretty crazy. 3 different vehicles. Now, the guy was very stoic. He was kind of old school Texan, just very stoic, doesn't, only speaks his mind when he really needs to. That real old school Texas. You know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, very, very stoic, doesn't really talk much. Right? He was like the Kimi Räikkönen of astronauts. Just, the shuttle performed very good today. Yeah, fly very good. It's good. How did it handle when you were in this part of the flight regime and everything? Handled good. 4 if you count the limb. Yeah, there you go. That's a good point, Nova. Now, this guy's very stoic, very stone cold, right? Like old school, like. Look at the dude's body language after he landed the shuttle. Watch. Says what he needs to say, no more, no less. Yep. Man, you see that thing? You see this damn thing? Dang, man. I want to shake your hand, sir. I want to shake your hand, too. I don't know who you are, but I'm shaking. Did you see this damn thing fly? Oh, hell yeah. This thing was great. It's the funniest thing to me. You see that? Yeah, man, I did. I flew the damn thing. Right? Look at him. They're like, "John, come back." He's like, no. I got to go shake more people's hands. Go shake more. Woo! You see that? Then he goes over there. He goes around the corner. He's like, "Hey guys, nope, those are the hypergol people. Yep, you did good. Nope, not getting near that. Dang, this is sweet." That's my favorite, man. The guy was amped. And then Crip, this is funny too. What do you think he said here? Boy, I tell you, what a machine that is, man. Holy crap. And then the pen flip. Whoosh. Pretty cool, huh? Dude, talk about jonesing for another flight, right? Yeah, exactly. That's one of my favorite things about John Young. The guy was walking on the moon, and he's like, "Yeah, this is cool. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, this is nice. Yeah, all right, cool. I gotta go shovel some rocks. Bye." And then freaking guy, he's freaking amped, freaking coming out of the shuttle. You see that, man? This thing is a beast. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. This thing came back from space. Damn. I'll shake your hand too, man. Oh, I got a little messed up there. Damn, this thing is a beast. Oh. To be fair, that's pretty much if I was flying the shuttle and I landed, I'd be like, "Hey, can I do that again, please? Like right now?" For scale, the shuttle is similar in weight and size to a 737-800, right? Yeah, dude, she's a beast. We know how many flights each shuttle was supposed to get, but how many flights were each astronaut supposed to get before the launch frequency dropped off of a cliff? A lot, Hellfish. Oh, yeah. A lot. Yeah, man. Shuttle test pilots were insane. Ignoring the master alarm was my favorite. Yep. Columbia, ignore the master alarm. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. We're just gonna keep flying this into space. Okie dokie. Just ignore it. It's fine. Imagine being an astronaut launching once a week on the shuttle. We could have had it, Jared. We could have had it if they didn't frick up, dude. Could have done it. I'm convinced. Looking at the shuttle program in retrospect, guys, I really, 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 we know exactly how you'd be if flew the shuttle. I'd be gung-ho passing. I'd be gung-ho. It's not even like, oh, man. I would be jumping around, making funny noises. Was John Young in charge, chief of the astronaut office at one point? Yeah, I think so. I think the shuttle's problems were not with the design. The shuttle's problems were very much with the management. The shuttle's program is a programmatic failure, not a hardware failure. I would say that till I'm blue in the face. And people are going to say, I know what people are going to say. They're going to be like, what do you mean it wasn't a hardware failure, EJ? What about the SRBs? Well, fun fact, the SRBs were designed to not fly in the cold. So it turns out when you fly SRBs that were not supposed to fly in the cold, they don't work right. That's weird. You don't try to take a Toyota Prius and go off-roading with it. Why? It's not an off-road vehicle. And if you do take it off-roading and it breaks, is it the Prius's fault? No. It's the people making the decisions. Just saying. All right, Black Eagle. Good night, buddy. Thiacol, Bob, but yes. Mm-hmm. So engineering is not just good feels and prayers. Yeah, interesting, right? Did you see the interview with Charlie Camarda? Yeah, the one that Das did, Yuri. Yeah, exactly. I was actually talking with Das about that this morning. Charlie Camarda's cool, dude. He's from Queens. He's freaking guys from Queens. He definitely lets you know. It's good stuff. Yeah, exactly, Grilani. I mean, you could still make the case, though, that if, don't fly it in the cold, because it's not designed to fly in the cold. If you didn't fly it in the cold, you wouldn't have encountered wind shear on a failure mode on an SRB. Anyway, yeah, Charlie Kamada, that was cool. That was a great interview, guys. If you haven't seen that interview, Das over at NSF interviewed him for Astro Live yesterday, and it's an awesome interview talking about thermal protection systems. They talked about on STS-114 when they brought Discovery up and returned to flight after Columbia, and they brought it up to the station. Dude, here's what I mean about a programmatic failure with the shuttle program. Charlie Camarda said in that interview with Das yesterday that when they did the return to flight, he did not trust certain flight teams with certain systems on the shuttle. So he made a book of all the people that he would need to call if some system went wrong on the shuttle. Seriously. That's what I mean about a programmatic failure. If your astronauts are basically not looking to the people that are on console to solve their problems and they're looking elsewhere, something has gone very wrong here. Yeah, same thing, Make. Whatever. Does thinking about life choices count as interviewing yourself? What? I don't know. Maybe. Hey, Cal, what's going on? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Right, Yuri? It's a really good interview. I haven't watched all of it, but I actually was talking with Das about it this morning, excuse me. What was the solution with the wrong people there? Dak, you've often heard me talk about Mike Griffin, right? You've heard, when I'm going on, tirades about constellation and, space architectural design, like, you've probably heard me mention that name. Yeah? Mike Griffin was the NASA administrator from 2004 to 2008. He's the one that fixed that. He fixed the programmatic problems with the shuttle. And look at that. Strange thing happened. The shuttle flew basically with no problems from 2004 to 2011. No problems. Routine missions. There's a reason why I like Mike Griffin a lot. He's the one that fixed the programmatic problems with the shuttle and had the shuttle actually finish building the stupid space station. Now, the ISS isn't stupid. But I want to point out, in 2004, when he got the job, right? The ISS was not even halfway finished. NASA had just lost an orbiter, reducing the fleet to 3. So, not that Columbia could do assembly missions, but basically you had demand for 4 orbiters until you lost one. And now you have 3 orbiters and you have an entire, like 2/3 of an ISS to make. It was 35 assembly flights total, guys. So Mike Griffin inherited that poop sandwich from Sean O'Keefe, the NASA administrator from 2000 to 2004. He inherited that poop sandwich, and not only did he fix the programmatic problems with the shuttle, but also got the Constellation program off the ground. There's a reason why I like him. There's a reason why I listen to him when he has stuff to say. He's the one that basically proved to me, or one of the reasons that proved to me that the shuttle was a big programmatic failure. The hardware is great. You will not make a better shuttle than this. Excuse me. Now, I'm sorry. I gotta get another cough drop. Give me 1 second. I said you won't make a better shuttle than this. Starship, I think, could be a better fully reusable vehicle. But a Starship isn't a shuttle. A shuttle is a second stage that jettisons its fuel tank. It's basically second stage smart reuse, right? If you're trying to get your second stage engines back, right, and jettison your fuel tank structure, there's no better way to do that than that. That, I'm telling you, that design is legendary. We still learn stuff from it today. Me and you and even NASA engineers, right? Now, once again, Starship, I think, will buck this trend. But, you know, for what the shuttle was designed to do, 25-ton up mass, 12-ton down mass, bring your second stage engines back, fully reusable vehicle, high flight rate, I think it could have done it. It absolutely could have done it. Venture Star could have been better than Starship. Yeah. Is this consequent to what Elon recently said about the space shuttle? I don't know. No, we were just kind of talking about it because viewers were talking about the shuttle. Why? What did he say about the shuttle?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
You'll disagree? This was actually this was last night. What is this? The debate about shuttle reusability versus Falcon 9 reusability has come up once again. Give me 1 second. Ewok, I sent you DM back. All right, give me 1 second. I gotta get another cough drop. Okay, so what's this conversation about? Let's see. Okay. The debate of shuttle reusability versus Falcon 9 reusability has come up once again. Here are a few points. Of course, the shuttle was the first reusable orbital spacecraft. Not counting a Gemini capsule reused as a boilerplate. One of the crew Gemini capsule missions was reused, but it was reused and launched unmanned. That's what he means by boilerplate. It was a partially reusable upper stage. ET was expended. Falcon 9 has a fully reusable booster stage. Okay. But what? What? Give me 1 second. I gotta return on Starbase Live here. So we can get some background noise. There we go. So it doesn't mute the headset. Why Falcon 9 has a fully reusable booster stage. Yeah, but the external tank isn't your booster. Do you know how I know? The shuttle had these two big white things attached to it called boosters. That's weird. Recycling the casings of the SRB stretches the definition of reuse considerably. They were at best rebuilt. They were not reusable like the orbiter was. I mean, that's right, but okay. All right. There's some asterisks with that. They did reuse the casings from the SRBs. But it's not just the casings. It's the thrust vector control systems, the parachutes, the nose cones. All that stuff got reused. Second part of that. And people got to understand this. So, okay, Falcon 9 reuses its fairings, right? It reuses fairings. We saw one fly for the 20th time a second ago with the O3B mPower mission. 20-time fairing reuse. The argument that he's making that SRBs don't make sense to reuse because they... wait, what is he saying?
Go and throttle up.
They were not reusable. Yeah, that's fair if he wants to say that. But the reason why they reused SRBs in the first place was twofold. One, high flight cadence. High flight cadence makes stuff that isn't generally cost effective to reuse worth reusing, like fairings, for instance. SpaceX reuses those fairings not because they're saving money. They reuse the fairings because of a production bottleneck. Recovering a fairing doesn't really make any sense financially, which is why no one else does it. It makes perfect sense if you're trying to launch a Falcon 9 every day. Same exact thing with the SRBs. The solid rocket boosters on the shuttles were not reusable. The casings were reusable. You could reuse the casings and reapply an inner liner to the casing and an insulator and then recast your grain in there. Sure, absolutely. If you make enough of these things, they're solid rocket boosters, very easy to manufacture. If you make enough of these things, you can employ it in scale, right? And achieve potentially a 48 launch a year flight rate with the Space Shuttle, which is pretty damn good. That's 96 SRBs manufactured every year. Pretty doable. The other thing to take into account is that the Space Shuttle solid rocket boosters use the exact same propellant as an ICBM. They use hydroxyl terminated polybutadiene and ammonium perchlorate. Now, cast your mind back to the United States in the 70s. What were we making a lot of? Yeah, that's right. That's right. ICBMs. That's right. It goes in the square hole. Yeah, so that's the way they planned on keeping costs down with the shuttle. Your casings are easy to manufacture. They're harder to refurbish, but you have a plethora of propellant to deal with. You can make as much. The industrial base is already there to mass manufacture solid rocket fuel. Because we do that, we were doing that for building our ICBMs. So yeah, the SRBs aren't actually reusable, but reusability isn't what's driving your cost with the space shuttle. Like full reuse of the boosters isn't what's driving your cost. It's another reason. Just like reusing the fairings on Falcon 9 is not a cost reason. There's another reason for it, and that's high flight rate. You incorporate enough SRBs, you put 400 or 500 casings into your production flow for the shuttle program, right? And then utilize already existing facilities to make all the propellant for it. You can employ it in scale and keep the cost down because SRBs are pretty easy to make. right? Ammonium perchlorate, the Pepcon disaster. Well, that's what happened after Challenger, Deadbringer, because they ramped up all this production for solid rocket boosters and then didn't use it and then tried to stockpile it in a factory and didn't end well. Reusing SRBs only makes sense if you do it in scale. Just like reusing fairings only makes sense if you increase your flight cadence. It doesn't make sense from a cost perspective. So this comment that that Peter Haig is making there, right? Like, about, the SRBs weren't fully reusable. They were made to not be reusable for other cost benefit reasons. Full reuse wasn't the goal here. If you make enough casings, your SRB has 2 moving parts, 3 if you count the parachutes. They're very simple to make, and you can make a lot of them because we already have that production. We already had that production baseline because we were making a lot of ICBMs in the 70s. Weird, huh? So citing SRB reusability and saying, oh, well, they were really recyclable, and that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, They're not fully reused because reusability is the way to achieve, lower cost per launch, because that's the whole point of this, right? Like, it doesn't really make sense. But then again, he is comparing SRBs straight to Falcon 9, which he compares the SRBs to the first stage and then the ET to the first stage, which I don't really understand. But whatever. The SRBs cost effectively made sense if you fly the shuttle 48 times a year, 50 times a year, 90 times a year. That's when it makes sense. Four, orbiter maintenance doesn't disqualify it from being reusable. Agreed? Absolutely. Yeah, duh. But I would contend to say that I have this basically from a primary source. It was an Aviation Week interview with SpaceX's VP of Flight Reliability, a guy by the name of Bill Gerstenmaier. Aviation Week interviewed him talking about this exact subject. How do you compare Falcon 9 to the shuttle program? And what Gerstenmaier said, who ran NASA's Human Exploration Operations Mission Directorate for a little while, might I add. The guy knows something about reusable spacecraft. What he said is that the shuttle, during the shuttle program, orbiter reuse, which ended up becoming a big bottleneck during the shuttle program. Orbiter reuse and the methods that they used to refurbish an orbiter actually made the orbiter less safe and less reliable. Give you an example. Every shuttle flight, after every shuttle flight, they deemed it the safe thing to do to take apart the entire RS-25 engine, take the whole thing apart and basically put it back together. Completely rebuild all 3 main engines after every flight. That's what they deemed necessary for orbiter refurbishment. That actually made the RS-25s not as reliable. If you look at one of the times, the Golden Bullet, that was because they took them apart and put them back together. If they had left the shuttle engines assembled in one piece, they probably would have been more reliable. You probably would have saved a lot of time during your orbiter turnaround as intended. Now, on top of Gerst's kind of testimony to this exact matter, in 2018, there was a program called Phantom Express. Phantom Express was a project by Boeing. It got canceled after the 737 MAX thing because Boeing, up until Ortberg, had been run by morons. We all know that. The XS-1 program, or the Phantom Express, basically was a first stage utilizing off-the-shelf shuttle engine parts. And it was supposed to be a rapidly reusable flyback first stage, similar to the Zenit boosters on Buran Energia, right? And in order to kind of prove out this program, the Phantom Express program took an RS-25D, basically Space Shuttle main engine, rebranded it to the AR-22 for this test, put it on the test stand at Stennis, and fired it 10 times in 10 days with no refurbishment. take with that information what you will. However, I would contend to say that we didn't take apart the shuttle's engines every time a shuttle flew because it was actually a safe thing to do. We did that because it made us feel safer. Once again, showing a programmatic failure of the shuttle program. Look, Aerojet Rocketdyne made the RS-25s. They made the shuttle engines. They made the shuttle engines when America's aviation industry was ridiculous. We were doing ridiculous things in the 60s and 70s. Do you think that Aerojet Rocketdyne, the foremost propulsion expert on anything to do with rockets in the 1970s, would design an engine with the capability of being fired 55 times with no refurbishment and get it so wrong that the engine would have to be taken apart every time? No. There's no way Aerojet Rocketdyne misses in the 70s. No way. They're probably not even today. Right? So the refurbishment of the orbiter was to make us feel better, not because the shuttle's a bad design. It was to make it feel safer, not because it actually was safer. Bingo, not hardware again. Exactly, Geeson. Yeah, there's also that. The shuttle's a semi-truck that flies into space. You don't go camping in a semi-truck, right? Now, number 5, what is Peter saying? It was not successful or a cost-effective reusable spacecraft, whereas Falcon 9 is. I guess if you want to look at it on paper, sure, but I would make the argument there that the shuttle never got a chance to be cost-effective reusable. At least the AR-22 test regime vindicated the RS-25. Too bad it was post-mortem. It's true, but dude, you remember that space news? I got so mad. I got so pissed. You think I get fired up now? 2018 EJ I was like screaming into the mic. I'm like, God damn it. I hate all of you. You know? Oh, boy. I very much disagree with part of his 5. It was a successful reusable spacecraft build program. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. The shuttle program was drowned by fixed cost and was never flown at the rate it needed to make it worthwhile over expendable rock. What? What was number 6 here? It was drowned by fixed cost. Yeah, Trey, at price per ton, I see his argument. But you got to remember, if the shuttle, I still think the shuttle is capable of doing the shuttle's capable of being fully reusable. You could have gotten that thing to the point where you could operate it like an aircraft. NASA chose not to. They chose to operate it more like a big Apollo Command Service module with wings. That's what I mean about going camping in a semi-truck. I don't understand drowned by fixed costs. I don't know what that really means, but yeah, of course you want to fixed cost procure things after you're going to operational systems engineering, but whatever. Did they ever find anything that would have warranted all these engine disassemblies after each flight? No, they did it out of an abundance of caution. Abundance of caution, Electron. Once again, I don't have any evidence to say that other than what Gerst said. And if Bill Gerstenmaier says that they did it because it made them feel better, I believe him. I don't have any, primary source evidence, but Gerst don't lie. That guy is the foremost expert in this country on reusable spacecraft by a long shot. If he's whatever he says, I believe him, right? A few pics sent your way on Discord, nothing critical, just figure I'd show you. Cool. He's talking about yearly costs for infrastructure. If it reached its target cadence, that wouldn't have mattered. Once again, a programmatic failure, nothing to do with the hardware. That's my argument here. The shuttle is an excellent design. It is an excellent piece of hardware. It is ridiculous for what that thing does. Guys, 25 tons and 7 people up. On-orbit loiter for a week by itself. No solar panels. If you attach it to the station, it can stay up for even longer. Fully reusable if you decide to freaking do that. Right? And reusable SRB casings. It's a damn good design. You know, I know what people are saying. You're thinking, you know, you're going to compare it to Falcon 9, you compare it to Starship. You know the shuttle's from 1972, right? The fact that we're even comparing the capability of a vehicle from 1972 to Falcon 9, which basically came of age less than 5 years ago with Block 5, right? The fact that we're comparing a vehicle that's almost 50 years old is ridiculous. That's how good, that shows you how good the shuttle actually is. Yeah, Aqualex, I guess that makes sense. Gers said sub-centimeter accuracy with super heavy landings. That wasn't a lie either. I believe him, dude. I would like to point out that this spacecraft from 1972, when it retired in 2011, it retired capability that we still haven't gotten back. No on-orbit satellite servicing, right? No way to launch 7 people into space. It could be done, though, with Dragon, to be very fair. No 12-ton downmass, 5-meter diameter payload capability. This thing could bring down... The shuttle could launch a school bus into space, take it out of its payload bay, leave it there, come back down, go up, grab the school bus, put it back in the payload bay, and bring it back down. The shuttle had that capability. Nothing has that capability. Starship could in the future, but once again, you're comparing a vehicle from the 70s to Starship. What was number 7? NASA deserves credit for pioneering a reusable spacecraft, but this doesn't detract from SpaceX actually making reusability work. Okay, I'll concede that. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Now, what did Elon say? Even the reusable part of STS were so difficult to refurbish that the cost per ton to orbit was significantly worse than the Saturn V, which was fully expendable. Well, yeah, that's what happens when you decide to take apart the engines every time, dude. Unfortunately, STS greatly set back the cause of reusability because it made people think reusability was dumb. He's very much right in that regard. I hate admitting that, but he's right. The first part... Yeah, I mean, Elon, for the most part, he ain't wrong. Like, you could say he doesn't know what he's talking about a lot of things. He knows what he's talking about spacecraft. I would say that they were difficult to refurbish because we made them difficult to refurbish. Like I said, you didn't need to take apart the engines every time. Even a guy that works for him said that. I don't see anything. Bargon. A lot of this is right, and it's the reason. Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, SDA, yeah, that's very much right. And this is why I cheer on Starship so ridiculously much, guys. Because, yeah, there was a time where, yeah, 2013, 2014, you know, NASA was going back to expendable rockets. Reusability doesn't make sense from a cost perspective. Blah, 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 blah. People still use that crap as an argument to try and justify them not liking Falcon 9. I love the space shuttle, dude. I really do. I love it. It's basically, it's my all-time favorite spaceship. Starship could potentially eclipse it when it does something like STS-1. Won't be for a little bit, but maybe soon. Right? The shuttle is my favorite. But people were trashing reusability, saying it makes no sense, and people still hang on to that crap, which really pisses me off. You know, SpaceX and Elon had to deal with a mountain of old, like, not old space, but politicians, you know, competition, basically saying, no, reusability doesn't make sense. You'll never do it. You'll never do it. It'll never be cost effective. It'll never be cost effective. Trey, what are you saying over there? Yeah, SpaceX did have to deal with a lot of crap There were like Senate hearings in 2013 and 2014 with ULA there about this very thing. Those meetings were technically about national security space launch contract procurement. If it wants to be technical, but if you want to be technical, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Trey, I want to know, looking into it now, should we have stuck with the Saturn V and ramped up production or gone with the space shuttle? Trey, the only reason, and I guess you could apply the same logic to the space shuttle, the only reason why Saturn V carried such a heavy price tag is because we paid $2 billion in 1960s dollars to develop the stupid thing and then launched it 12 times. If that doesn't make sense, why economically that's really stupid, that's like saving up for a Bugatti Veyron, right? Saving up for a Veyron, the fastest car ever made. You buy it with the explicit intention of going extremely fast. And then driving it maybe once or twice and then putting it in the garage and doing nothing with it. Does that seem like a good investment? Which ironically is basically what happens to every single Veyron that's sold, but that's another story. Right? Does that sound like a good investment? No. It's only a good investment if you use it like a damn car. If going places fast is your reason, right? Not even putting it in the garage, sending it to the recycling yard. Exactly, yeah. Basically junking it. Yeah, that would be the equivalent. The Saturn V is your Veyron here in this analogy, right? Actually, yeah, you're right. You know what? That's a better way to say it. It's not even like putting it in the garage. It's putting it in a crusher after you've spent like a couple $1 million on this thing, drove it around once or twice, and then put it in a crusher because, man, we don't need that anymore. I should go buy a smart car. I want it to be more fuel efficient. That's basically what we did. If they had just ramped up Saturn V instead of ramping down, dude, Saturn V, oh yeah, you could have gotten costs way down on that thing. Probably comparable, I'd say, in terms of dollars per kilogram to orbit to Falcon 9 itself. Sure, absolutely. Yeah, in this analogy, you can't sell your Bugatti. Yeah, there you go. You're right. Yeah, that's the only reason why Saturn V was so ridiculously expensive. Because we didn't fly it enough to justify the cost of sinking billions of dollars into it. Now, von Braun had a very good plan to keep the Saturn V flying well into the 90s with upgrades and everything. And in the late 60s, early 70s, NASA said, no, we don't want to do that. And he's like, why? Why don't you want to do this? I literally built you the greatest rocket of all time. And NASA's like, well, we want reusability to save costs. And von Braun said, no, mass production can save costs, you idiots. And NASA basically said to him after that, like, okay, we disagree. We're going to put you at an administrative job at NASA. Yeah, they basically took his chief designer job title away and gave him an administrative position in Washington, D.C. Now, von Braun notwithstanding, if you're an engineer designing rockets, doing systems engineering for spaceflight architecture, and they basically put you at a NASA HQ job, what would you want to do? You'd want to blow your brains out, dealing with bureaucratic nonsense all day. So von Braun left NASA. He left. He's like, this is dumb. The shuttle's stupid. It's going to fail. You guys have no idea what you're doing. Deuces. I'm gone. Auf Wiedersehen. And that's exactly what happened. Weird, huh? The motivation behind the Saturn V was largely political. Space Race 1, not much reason to fly it anymore. Even the public lost interest in the moon landings like they were just a novelty. So that's the reason to get rid of it? Question? Yeah, Tessic. I mean, it wasn't just him. It was Johnson too. Yeah. They got sticker shock from the program. They got sticker shock from the Saturn V. That's what happened. They got sticker shock. But they basically looked at the price tag and said, we cannot keep doing this. But two things. One, it's a development cost. Politicians understanding financials. Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah, that checks out. Second part, you were running 2 space programs at once. The Gemini and the Apollo program were running at the same time. Yeah, so the bump there is a lot bigger than it looks. Not to mention during Vietnam. Yep. Yeah, Vietnam was also sucking up cash. Yep. About that post earlier, both parts are wrong, I think. The launch refurb was easy. They added a bunch of extra make work, though. And it wasn't the shuttle that made people think reuse wasn't worth it. It was how NASA operated it. Oculus, yeah, that's easy to say in hindsight, but, dude, we were here, dude. What are you talking about? Everybody said, dude, you know how many people I had to deal with when I wanted to say I wanted to build something reusable in KSP? People would be like, nah, it doesn't make any sense to do that. I remember having conversations with people, like, right when I started streaming about this. How much did you spend on Vietnam? I don't want to... Wow. That was a little more than the space program. That was a little more than the Apollo. Oh, dear. Yeah, Stallfire, that's true. How much was the Apollo program in today's money? The Apollo program, Caden, cost $2 billion in the 60s, so that's $160 billion. Yeah. And you guys thought SLS was expensive. For all of SLS's nonsense, guys, it's still cheaper than Saturn V. And if we fly it more, it could be way cheaper than Saturn V. Yeah. Look at that $4 billion. Well, it's not even $4 billion. It's a $2 billion price tag per launch for SLS. Look at that. And then tell me it's expensive. It's not. It's really not. Like, I don't care what anybody says. It's not. I don't think it's the right move, flying that thing once a year. That's really stupid, because that basically purposefully induces high cost per launch cadence, or high cost per launch because of the low launch cadence. And then you suffer the exact same problems as the Saturn V, which is very interesting. SLS is not expensive. It's about as much as my groceries. Mark on, you know what? I'm not going to touch that one. I'm going to take that comment. I'm going to send it right back to you, okay? I'm just going to take it and just send it right back. I'm not touching that one, dude. No way. Question, do SLS and Saturn V launch cons include Orion and the Apollo CSM? That's correct, yes. Get in the holiday spirit. Yeah, SpaceX is doing some kind of Xmas celebration down at Starbase right now. I actually want to read this thread. Now, fellas, the interesting thing is that, okay, you guys tell me, I want to finish something up here. You guys tell me if this is a reach, okay? I would contend to say that Falcon 9 is comparable in capability to the shuttle in terms of cost. What does that mean? Okay, well, let's look at NASA's commercial crew contracts. Now, this is the part where I want you guys to know. I want you guys to think if I'm reaching. Falcon 9 right now with Block 5, sure. Oh yeah, it's probably way cheaper. Way cheaper. But hear me out here. When Falcon 9 was flying on a lower flight cadence, something that was even comparable to the shuttle program. So in 1985, the shuttle launched 9 times, right? If you cast your mind back to 2017, 2018, that's about comparable flight cadence, right? Because we've always said that flight cadence is your key here, right? That's the key. You launch it a lot, the cost is going to come down. Falcon 9 launches a lot. It's one of the cheapest ways to get something into space at this point. But if you compare, I'll say per capita, rock on. If you compare per capita launch cadence, right? So Falcon 9 in 2017, 2018 versus the shuttle in 1985. Obviously adjust the prices for inflation, right? I'd say they're pretty comparable. Capability usually scales with cost if your flight cadence is similar. Now, what does that mean? All right, well, let me break it down. The shuttle in 2011, at the end of the program, the shuttle stack was about $400 million to buy the stack. All right? About $400 million per mission, right? That's not necessarily included other costs, right? We're talking about a unit price per launch. It was about $400 million. Think about that for a second. $400 million, that seems expensive for what it is, right? It seems expensive. That seems, there's got to be a cheaper way to do it. Well, yeah, sure, of course. It's a cheaper way to do things. Falcon 9 is a much simpler vehicle than the space shuttle. Of course it's going to be cheaper, right? Of course it is. Now, let's compare, once again, about $400 million, right? And I understand that I'm pulling the launch cadence from the shuttle from 1985, where it probably wasn't $400 million per launch. But just bear with me here. And this is why I said, you guys tell me if I'm reaching here. All right? I pulled the price point from 2011 and the launch cadence from 1985. And then Falcon 9 from 8 years ago. If you cast your mind back to the commercial crew program and the CRS-1 round of contracts, SpaceX was launching people into space on Dragon capsules for I think it was the first 6 Dragon missions at $150 million price point per launch. That's Falcon 9 reusing the stage. That price has since gone way down during the CRS-2 or commercial crew round 2 contracting. So from CRS-7 to now, that cost is way down once again. But you got to compare per capita flight rates here, okay? So you compare it in 2017, 2018, it costs $150 million to put a Dragon capsule with 4 people into space. Okay? So what does the shuttle move into space for a $400 million price point? 7. It moves 7 people into space at $400 million. And 25 tons of cargo. The capability scales with price, guys. I'm sorry. There's no other way of looking at it. In this scenario. Nowadays, Falcon 9's way cheaper. That's what high launch cadence will do, dude. Weird, huh? But if you're comparing similar launch cadences, it scales perfectly. Capability scales perfectly. So you want to put 7 people into space with Falcon 9 in 2017, you got to launch 2 Dragon capsules at a $150 million price point. That's $300 million right there off the bat. Falcon 9, and now your crew flights can reuse your first stages, sure. But now to move 25 metric tons into orbit, you need 2 Falcon 9s. Unless you want to expend your Falcon 9 core, in which case it could do it in one shot. Actually, probably can't. Maybe nowadays it could, but at the time, probably not. So you need 2 Falcon 9 cargo missions at a $60 million price point, right? What did I tell you? How much was the shuttle stack again? 400 million per unit. 2 crewed flights, circa 2017 prices, at $150 million a pop. 2 cargo flights at $60 million a pop. That's $412 million to just equal what the shuttle can put up in one launch. Now, Dragon has a down mass capability of about 4,000 pounds, give or take. Actually, I think it's 4 tons, not 4,000 pounds. Either way, you'd need 2 Dragons. Actually, you would need 3 Dragons to equate what the shuttle could bring down in one shot. I don't know how you'd figure that into this calculation, but the point that I'm getting at is that with per capita launch rates, the capability scales perfectly. So by that logic, if you had operated the shuttle on a week-to-week basis like NASA had planned to, the cost would have been comparable to Falcon 9 for the capability. Shuttle's always going to carry a heavier price tag. Of course it is. If you buy a vehicle that has more capability, like, I don't know, a Tesla Model S P100 or Tesla Model S Plaid with full self-driving, that's going to be more expensive than a Honda Accord, right? But the Tesla Plaid can do a lot more than a Honda Accord can, can't it? Right? See what I'm talking about? That, once again, right there, why do I bring all this up, this per capita launch cost? Like, what the hell are you talking about, EG? What I'm trying to tell you is that the space shuttle was a management problem. That empirically proves that. The shuttle is a great design, and it could have flown on Falcon 9's launch cadence if we had the drive to get it to that point. It's true. More like comparing a semi to an F-150. You pick your analogy, Tessa. If that's how you understand it better, you use that one, okay? And then there's the volume constraint that the shuttle didn't have. That's right. The shuttle is an extremely capable vehicle, and it's an extremely good design. No one's done better since. Just saying. The shuttle could take down 12 tons, Willie. I do not think that the shuttle could have come back down with Hubble. No. No, it's too heavy. You would have really, like, to the point that it's dangerous. It's dangerous coming down in re-entry with that thing. Yeah, Tron, that's another thing to take into account. If John Young says it's a good design, it's a good design. I'd take his word for it over any bureaucrat or manager at NASA. Very interesting. Never thought about that. It makes a lot of sense. Now, once again, Bob, I want to point this out. If you compare the space shuttle at its peak, $400 million price point, 9 times a year flight, to Falcon 9 launching on a sub 2-day launch cadence, Falcon 9 is way cheaper. And the second round of commercial crew mission contracts are down below 100 million because of booster reuse. It's not even close. Falcon 9 is infinitely superior, but it still can't service anything. Remember, shuttle came with an airlock, so you're paying for more capability. What you do with that capability is important, right? That's the point I'm trying to issue here. That's the point I'm trying to make. The other point is that the shuttle is an amazing design. It is an amazing piece of equipment. Despite being 50 years old at this point, 52 years old. The design was finalized in completed critical design review in 1972, guys. 52-year-old design. Not bad. Not bad for a 52-year-old design, I would say. How close will Starship bring SpaceX to shuttle payload capability? Hey, Blackness had a 63-month resub in there. Coltec had a 68. The headset went out again. Nova Raptor with 100. How many bananas can fit inside the shuttle's payload bay? Yes. Shuttle got approved when Apollo 16 was on the moon. That's right, Ben. Yep. The down mass was 14 tons. Hubble after it's 12, Tessa. It's 12. 12 and a half. It's 12. I don't know where you're pulling 14 tons from. It would have been near the limits but doable. With my limited knowledge of the space shuttle, Tessa, I would not have tried to do that. I think your point is that the shuttle could have gotten close. The shuttle almost did get close despite being run by morons, Bob. That's the point I'm trying to make. But once again, Falcon 9, if you compare Falcon 9 today, dude, we don't know what SpaceX is charging for a launch. One, because the vast majority of Starship flights are internal, which people still use as this brain-dead argument to say that reusability doesn't make sense because SpaceX is launching their own payloads into space, which is... That's really the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, that's definitely up there. I think Bamesnon strunking the Bondulants makes more sense than that. I've never heard of 14 tons, Tessa, but either way, I still wouldn't do it. There's an inflatable Starship on Starbase Live. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. But if you're even comparing what they charge, I'll put my money on Falcon 9 being as low as 20 million a pop. Easily. At this point, with the reuse on the boosters. Yeah, probably 20 million a pop. Sure. 20, 30 million for a reused Falcon 9 booster and a couple of reused payload fairing halves. 20 million to put 20,000 kilograms in space is pretty good. That's what the shuttle was supposed to do. That's better than the shuttle empirically at that point. But once again, I would contend to say if you were launching the shuttle on the frequency of Falcon 9, the cost would scale correctly. The shuttle would still be more expensive. But it would be more expensive because it's a way more capable vehicle. You get what you pay for with spaceflight. And I'm sick of pretending like that's not true. Right? Who is something that can service Hubble nowadays? Nothing. Anybody that thinks Dragon can do it by itself, house, is out of their mind. Dragon's life support systems cannot support more than a 5-10 minute EVA. That's not enough to service anything. Shuttle has the airlock, remember. Important to understand. Could SpaceX make a bespoke airlock and launch it on an uncrewed Falcon 9 and then have a Dragon dock to it and then go to the Hubble Space Telescope? Yes. And I contend to say that they should do that. That would be really cool. Very inspiring stuff. Yeah, Yuri, it'd be neat. You could probably also fit Crew Dragons in the trunk with a lot of O2. That's not really how the life support system works, Graham, but sure. You're going to put a giant bomb of liquid oxygen below your crew. I'm not about that life. Launch it uncrewed. In terms of scale, it makes much more sense to compare mass to orbit over time. Maybe not as much as shuttle launches, but as Falcon, but equate the mass. Yeah. There's still plenty that Hubble can do. Keep her up there and keep her working. Yeah, we should do that, Tessa. Isn't that any crew-rated Hydrolox rocket? Yeah, I suppose. There's rules around that. Yeah, that's right, Cirrus. The trunk, Crew Dragon can't carry anything in its trunk. That's correct. I knew there was something, dude, but yeah, I couldn't remember. Thank you. Hang on one second. I got a couple of messages. Might be important. You are fired. Oh, I'm sorry. Why would that be? Abort. Abort stuff. You don't want stuff in the trunk. It's probably because the Draco motors can't achieve the thrust to weight ratio that they need to get away from the stack safely enough. It can't. It's part of its human rating. Cirrus is correct. But anyway, yeah, guys, I could talk about the shuttle all day. I think it was an awesome vehicle. Would I have, if it was up to me, would I choose the shuttle or Saturn V? No, I would have chosen the Saturn V every day of the week. Knowing what I know, that's the benefit of hindsight, I must say. I would have chosen the Saturn V, absolutely. Surrendering capability of going to the moon is the dumbest thing that NASA was forced to do. That is the dumbest thing by a long shot. Yeah. Second to that is canceling Constellation. Third to that is canceling the space shuttle with it. Yep, those are the three dumbest things that NASA's done by a long shot. Isn't the trunk detached during escape? No. Earlier you mentioned how the shuttle's SRBs benefited from ICBMs. Well, so do Ariane's SRBs with French SLBMs. Floating, why do you think the ESA is so adamant on making Ariane work? And Viper is pretty low on the dumb scale, Marcon, but it was still pretty dumb. But yeah. So, yeah, pretty good conversation, dudes. Only the cargo dragon can carry stuff in the trunk. Yes, that's correct. I wanted to show you another thing real quick. This is what I wanted to talk about before we got into that whole shuttle thing. There's still a little bit of space news, if anybody cares. Yeah. Yuri, Viper, and Chandra. Dude, Viper was pretty high, like not very high on the dumb ideas thing, but Viper getting canceled to me and NASA saying it's actually cheaper to launch a brick into space and land a brick on the moon to keep up with contractual obligations basically broke me. Like, the stupid basically made my brain not happy. Not happy. Yeah, that, dude. It made me pretty dang upset. That was like my turning point where I decided to be a lot more candid. Yuri, I used to not be this candid about this stuff. About what I think in terms of policy and in terms of architectures and stuff. Like, I would say that, I would be vocal about certain things, but not, back in the day, I would have never said that NASA is stupid for doing this. I would have tried to figure out why they were doing it and kind of learn from that. But I know good and well why they're doing this. They're doing it because NASA is suffering from a problem that they've suffered basically for half a century about basically letting infighting take precedent over scientific exploration because that's what we've been conditioned to accept. We've been conditioned to accept that, as Americans, not you, Yuri, as Americans, most of our tax dollars are going to causes that aren't space. And that space is this thing where you have to save money. We have to save money on spaceflight. We have to save money on spaceflight. Oh, yeah, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. It's actually putting a price on scientific exploration, which, like I said, that's pretty stupid. That's pretty stupid. That's a pretty stupid thing to do. Especially when your country's known for kind of leading in this regard. To see that, to get rid of that capability because we're saving money is failing to see. It's failing to see that, like, China, for instance, not that we should be comparing ourselves to them, dude. That's stupid. Why do we need a reason to fly into space? But that's like you know, China put a rover on the far side of the moon. The Chang'e 5, I think. They put a rover on the far side of the moon. And it survived. It went into the lunar night. And they brought back samples and stuff, if I'm remembering correctly. You know, Chang'e 5 with the U-2 rover. That was a great mission. Meanwhile, we're over here launching a brick into space. Do you think they give a frick about our cost expenditures and cost allocation at NASA? You think they care? They don't give a frick. They don't care. They want to go explore the cosmos, and good on them. They should. To sit here and be like, well, you know, this rover would have cost another $100 million. We have schedule, we have financing constraints, and it broke the budget. It broke the budget, so we can't do that. Yeah, Sinkos, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying that we really don't. You could just say, this is America, man. It's freaking America. We're going to put people back on the moon. We don't need a damn reason. We don't need an adversary. We're going to do it because we're us. I'm sure that would sell just fine. The reason why I bring this up, and the reason why I say, like, using China basically as a punching bag to get more funding for our space program is not very sustainable. That's not a sustainable thing in the long run. That's gonna force us to make an architecture that's expedient, not necessarily, you know, more long term. Remember the last time we did that whole space race thing? They pulled the plug on it. And don't get me wrong, if expediency is what's going to get us to the moon, screw it. I guess that's okay. But it'd be more sustainable in the long run if we, you know, didn't do that. But, yeah, once again, that doesn't get you funding now, does it? You know, putting a price on science is hilarious to me. You're putting a price on science when you're inadvertently competing with a country that does not give a frick about that. You're putting prices on things while the other country is trying to do stuff out of national pride. Yes, penny pinch your own space program and enter a space race. Watch what happens. The Soviets did that during the space race. Didn't end well. Didn't end well at all. In fact, the Soviet space program had some real problems with a lot of infighting over funding. And that basically set up their lunar program to fail catastrophically. Interesting. Interesting conundrum, EJ. But the Soviets did that because they were broke. Good point. Interesting. Yeah, Yuri Glitchko is... What a wanker. Now, don't get me wrong. Energia is a good design. Very good. But frick that guy, dude. Yeah, well, weather guy, that's what I'm trying to fix, man. Frick that guy. Glitchko was a big wanker, dude. I don't like Korolev because his architecture works and mine doesn't. Meh, what a baby. Ugh. Yeah, the infighting got so bad that Glitchko didn't like Korolev's design and he tried to sabotage the N1. He basically set the N1 up to fail because he didn't like Korolev. Even after he died. The guy was a huge D-bag. And then he made Buran Energia, which was great. That's good. You bankrupted your nation making your launch vehicle that you wanted to make. Oops. Did you hear about the ground station power outage during Polaris? No, I didn't, May. That's interesting, though. He came up with the UR700 and UR900, which are both a little bit out there in terms of design, don't you think? An hour before the EVA? Yikes. No comment, Alto. Anyway, let's go back to work now. Gio, hey, 12-month resub. Lots of fricks and a brick in the chat today. Yeah, right. You the brick's me. He also made the engines for the ICBMs that was in the Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah. You guys call it the Caribbean Crisis?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Interesting. Hey, Blue Adder, 34-month resub. Thank you. You don't know? Yeah, okay. We call it the Cuban Missile Crisis over here. Can you bring up some of the other crazy space ideas? Those are always fun. Do you think the Russian moon program would have been different if they had an Elon SpaceX? They did have somebody like Elon Goli. His name's Sergei Korolev. He croaked in 1966 because his doctor, he went for a routine surgery and his doctor was a moron. Because the Soviet Union didn't believe in meritocracy. Oops. You killed your chief designer. Have fun with that. There is the Kyros launch. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, we got one more launch on the day. Do we have a streaming link for that, W? The USSR puts, yeah, Stalin didn't like Korolev. He accused him of giving information to the West. Your chief designer. Yuri, I'll say this, dude. Korolev is unreal. Unfreaking real, considering they gave him a bunch of aggregate fours and said design something new or you die. And not only did he took the aggregate 4 and, you know, made the R3 and the R5, he made it into the R7, the Semyorka, which is, once again, one of the best designs for an orbital class launch vehicle ever. Look, man, we were talking... Oh, there we go. There's the cast. We were talking a second ago, Yuri, about Falcon 9 launch costs. You know, Soyuz has been launching at like a $20 million price point for like the last 30 years, right? Right? Soyuz is insanely inexpensive for what it is. It is a very, 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 very inexpensive way of putting things into space. Even now, after all the bullcrap that's gone down, it's still comparable with Falcon 9. That's how good Sergei Korolev was at making rockets. The guy, dude, it was on another level. Look at what he made with the R7 in 1957, right? Comparatively to the US. He had a rocket that could plop something into low Earth orbit in the late 50s. And then a human into space in 1961. You know, we put people into space by basically putting them on top of a missile. And then, once Atlas got up and running, that's when we put a person into space. We put John Glenn into orbit. We put Alan Shepard into space on a suborbital trajectory. Sputnik went into orbit in 1957. That's, like I said, the Soviet Union after World War II inherited all the hardware. They took over Peenemünde in northeast Germany, which is where the factory for the V2 was. The Soviet Union got all the hardware. We got all the engineers. So they basically gave Sergei Korolev a bunch of hardware and a bunch of low-level technicians that worked on the line and said, make something or you die. And he did. He made the R7, which is unreal. That is an unreal... That's, dude, guy's on another level. He's like on another level of smart. Like, smarter than us mere mortals, man. Is Soyuz the only mass-produced spacecraft? I guess. Korolev's a legend. I hold that guy in extremely high regard. He is one of the greats of rocket science by a long shot. He's right up there with von Braun, with Robert Goddard, Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, Kraft Erich, Dornberger. I would even throw Elon into that at this point. When are you coming back to Florida? I don't know, man. Tom Mueller's definitely up there, 1,000. Yeah. Korolev is one of the greats, dude. Korolevgrad for workers. If there's a rocket expansion that comes out for workers and resources, Nova, sure. I'd sub out Tom for Elon in that list. I'd like to see what they could do with modern technology. Dude, Von Braun would... Okay, excuse my language. Von Braun would bust a nut over Falcon 9 and Starship. He would love them. Yeah, Korolev City. It's near Moscow. Yeah, GCTC. Yuri, the Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center. Will Booster 14 be caught? Yes. Or at least they'll attempt to do it, Bran. Yep. Mm-hmm. He would want to add more wings to... He would what? Don't worry about it. He would very much like Falcon 9 and Starship. Let me put it that way, okay? Are you still gonna go to Flight 7? That's the plan. Yep. All right, guys. We're going to cap off space news here with the Kyros 2 launch. The Kyros 2 launch is scheduled to go off here in about 28 minutes. Mini-me, stop pumping the laser. Sergey would like Starship. Oh, yeah, he would, Yuri. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, he would. All right. So the reason why I'm covering this Kyros mission is because Kyros Flight 1 was a return to launch site. It landed right there. It wasn't supposed to land right there, but it landed right there. So Kyros 2, like I said, return to flight. Let's see if they can do it. Your father's Sergey and you're Yuri. Yeah. Starting to get tired, man. It wasn't at nighttime weather guy, no. They built their launch pad next to a pyramid, Kappa. It landed with style. It was a very passionate landing, Cirrus. Just like Vega. Very passionate landing. Is that their warning music for moving back their mobile service tower? God, I love Japan. Never change, Japan. Never change, dude. Awesome. Ice cream! Ice cream! Bro, I freaking love Japan. What a great country, man. I think it'll be fine, Trey. Really, Rizzik? Don't scream, my dogs will go nuts. Oh, hi, doggy. You'll take a fudgesicle? Dude, 2-ball screwball. Come on. 2-ball screwball. You get 2 pieces of gum at the bottom. Or the premium cookie sandwich. Choco Taco. Good call, Ding. Good call. 99er all day. I don't know what that is. Rocket Pop? Yeah. Good call. Good call. Chipwich? Yeah. Ice cream sandwich, please and thank you. All right. The drumstick. The drumstick fall. Hell yeah, dude. Ice cream cookie, yeah. Strawberry shortcake. Oh, golly. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're friends now. If we weren't already, we probably already were. Shortcake pops are fantastic, dude. One of these. Yeah, Tessa, yeah. Okay, yeah, no, yeah. Is that a cornetto? You always get cookies and cream, Dave. Good call, good call. It is, and it's super common. Reverse music is all the same on jitneys when you were in India. No way, dude. Right. Dude, Choco Tacos, man. I forgot about those. EJ, where can I pick me up one of those FAA-approved UFOs like the ones I see in Jersey? Here. I got you, man. Let me get you a link real quick. Here, Zing, I got you, man. I'm gonna link it up in chat. Here. You want one of those drones? Click on that link. There you go. There it is, right there in all of its glory. Ooh, Grand Caravan. Ooh, Sky Courier. Nice. 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 Yes. Yuri, how do ice cream trucks work? We don't have them over here, I think. Okay, so in the West, dude, the ice cream truck is so it's like a van, right? So like a post van almost, right? I think that would probably be the closest thing, right? And it drives around, and it's a truck with a bunch of ice cream in it, right? And it drives around the neighborhoods in the summertime, right? Playing music like this, right? And in the van at the back, there's a window, right? And the ice cream truck can stop, and the kids chase after it, right? And, you know, you scrounge together what pocket change you have, and you buy an ice cream on a hot summer day. It's just basically a mobile ice cream store, that's all. But it's in American pop culture, it's very, that's a very endearing thing. Everybody, when they were younger over here, dude, ran after the ice cream truck. Your boy included. See, I was smart. I got on my bike and rode after the ice cream truck going, Mister, give me an ice cream. You know, like... I'm not playing that sound. They are. Yeah, you gotta chase it down on the streets on your bike, man. What? We have small stores that are sized like trucks, but not moving trucks. Yeah, here, like, I'll show you a picture of an ice cream truck, dude, if you want to know. Yeah. So, like, yeah, here, this will work. So, Yuri, that's an ice cream truck. Like I said, it's like a post van or a small box truck that, you know, you drive around and the guy pulls over and, you know, serves ice cream. That's it. There's not much else to it. But when you're a kid, because you can't go to the store, right? You know, unless you could ride your bike to the store or something, the ice cream truck comes to you. So you're out, like, playing sports or doing some dumb stuff with your buddies. The ice cream truck comes, you go get ice cream on a hot summer's day. Yeah, it's a very Americana thing, I guess. I mean, they have it in other parts. It's not just the United States. Like, Bedford vans are the best ice cream vans. Touché. Bold prediction. Flight 7's going to fly before Newglands? Maybe. Yeah. Tessa, what is this?
Discovery.
What is this? That ain't no ice cream truck. What the heck is this dinky thing? Bruh. Our ice cream trucks are like Grumman and International. Not... Yeah, get a load of this guy. It is a Ferd, so I do give you credit, but also... No. Now look up Australian ice cream truck. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Nope. Kind of wish I didn't do that. Crikey! Dude, remember what our roads are like compared to yours? Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna pass up an opportunity to bust your chops, man. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I see you got several variants. So, that yellow one, Yuri, was one from England. That pink thing was from Australia. Our trucks don't look like that. Our trucks are these big, like, post vans, dude. I'm glad the U.S. declared independence. Actually, Yuri, I mean, I don't know if you guys have this, but, dude, it's not just ice cream trucks nowadays, dude. Like, people have food trucks. And, you know, the state, you know, the government permits this. Like, you go do this, right? People have those trucks like that, and they don't just serve ice cream. There's, like, taco trucks and burrito trucks and, like, chicken, French fries, you know, all kinds of, like, you can get, there's dumpling trucks, dude. Like, you can get all kinds of stuff if you just go around. If you're in the city, you go around the park in the city, there's food trucks everywhere. Barbecue trucks, yeah, you get anything you want. And it's usually, the street food's usually pretty damn good. I got cannolis from a food truck the other day when I was at a holiday event with my family. It was pretty damn good cannoli, too. We have burger vans everywhere in industrial zones? Yeah, Tessa, yeah, okay, yeah, we're on the same page there. Yeah, dude. Almost spit up my cough drop. You can do whatever. Like, well, not, you have to get the permits. You have to get the health permits, but yeah. You've had a couple of people fabricate food trucks, Will. They have to pass health inspections just like stores. Yep. Oh, dude, now I'm hungry. We got to stop talking about food. We got 15 minutes for the Kyros 2 launch here. So the Kyros 2 is a small sat commercial launch vehicle coming out of Japan here. This is a return to flight. Kyros 1 returned to launch site unplanned. It actually landed like right over there where the lens flare is. It landed on this road over here and caused a nice big explosion. So this is a return to flight for Kyros. Let's see what happens. That caps the day off at 3 launches, dude. We saw 2 Falcon 9s, and hopefully we see this one here. How many pork shoulders could that rocket cook? I don't know. Let's ask Joe Barnard. We live more closer, especially in Moscow, so we could walk to the store or ride a bus or the subway. We have small trucks with coffee in the parks. Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, I mean, your cities are a little bit more walkable than ours, dude. Makes sense. There was one early in the morning, too. You sure about that? You sure about that? GPS 3. GPS 3 SV10, I streamed that, Tessa. I was here. Ha, Americans walking. Yeah, Alto. Yeah, we don't do that, all right? We've watched RRT1, GPS 3 SV10. We've watched O3B mPower 7 and 8, and now Kyros. Hey, quick question, but did SpaceX always have an almost due south launch corridor out of Starbase? They've never had a due south launch corridor out of Starbase username. No, they can't. There's a Mexico in the way. So yeah, 4, not 3. GPS 3 SV10 is RRT1. Those are the same mission, Tessa. O3B mPower 7 and 8, Kyros 2. This is a Japanese, yeah, Sephardi, yeah. This is a Japanese private launch vehicle. This is a commercial launch vehicle. Kyros. Yep. This has 5 payloads on board going to Sun Synchronous. This is Space 1 Launchpad, Spaceport Kai, or Ki, in Japan. Second mission for Kyros here. Is the music still playing? No. L149. Tessa, oh, okay. Time zones. They was... sometimes I just want to hit you in the face. Really, really hard in Minecraft. Like, really hard. Which one of you is the key grip? You. Hit that mod in the face really freaking hard. I need to get an international passport. I hope it's possible in the near future. Whoa, toxic streamer alert. I love it. Says the guy that was just given the streamer's nationality crap for physical movement. Alto, wait, you said you love it. All right. Yeah, screw you too. Zulu is the only time zone on this planet. Wrong, sir. Wrong. You just watched that movie. It's one of my favorite movies, Will. It's just wind, dude, but there is a helicopter flying around. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like SRBs. There is a place in my heart for them, being a shuttle fan. CST is not superior, Graham. No, it is not. You know why it's not superior? Because this is my stream. And this stream works off Eastern Standard Time, okay? It's my stream, dude. I'm the main character. You are not. Eastern Time Zone supremacy. So did the last launch of this rocket get its payload to orbit? No, Maddie. It launched that way, went about that way for 10 seconds, blew up, and landed over there. Yeah, no, it didn't even come close. Right, Tim? Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the follow. Yeah, yeah. Tim the Tool guy. Tim the Tool Man Taylor. Tim Allen's from Detroit. Detroit, Eastern Time Zone. It's science, dudes. Sorry. Look, I got an NASA hat on. I know a lot about science. Hey, Bone Sister, how are you? Excitement was guaranteed on the last launch article, that's for sure. You need to mute your TV. You got double EJ, double EJ, double EJ. Echo, 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 echo. It's your echo, Sloth. Echo. Ruth, baby, Ruth. Did you fix the echo, Matt? Do you realize that two people born on different parts of the world at the same time can have different birthdays? Wouldn't have that problem with UTC, just saying. Why is that a problem, weather guy? See, Tessa's last. No, I'm good. It didn't fix it? Ah, dang. They should have the same date and time. Well, fine, weather guy. If they should have the same date and time, we should just use Eastern time. Everyone should just use Eastern time. Have you seen the FAA launch license? Yes, username, I have. Oh, yeah. You got a cleater shirt on, so you screw up a lot. What? That's kind of like China using one time zone. Yeah, Ben, that's right. China said frick time zones, then they said the entire nation's on one time zone. F this. Okay, that's kind of cool. You know, all right, I get you. but also, China. Central is the better time zone. Everything in Eastern is just so late. Everything in Central is just so early. Monkeys. I can play this game. So did Europe for the most part. Mind your own business. China. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make any type of statement or anything. I just like saying China. Texas is best country CST. Texas. Country. Opinion disregarded. You almost sound like Peter Griffin when you say that. Well, time zones make sense, but daylight savings drives you nuts. Stop changing the time around. I agree with that, X-Wing. Although, I like daylight time. I do not like standard time. When you're in Boston, on standard time, the sun goes down at 3:30. Not great. Yeah, I want daylight time. I do not want standard time. Standard time for me sucks. It's during the winter time in Massachusetts, it's stupid cold, maybe not like Russia cold or Canada cold, but it's pretty cold. Okay? It's pretty dang cold, and the sun goes down at 3:30 in the afternoon. It screws up your circadian rhythm big time because your body will start being like, oh, you're tired. It's the end of the day, 5 in the afternoon. And the sun comes up at like 4 in the morning. It's stupid. Oh, なんだこれ? Okay, inside of 5 minutes.
カイロスロケット2号機の打ち上げはこの後午前11時を予定しています。和歌山県那智勝浦町にあります旧浦上小学校のカイロスロケット2号機打ち上げ応援会の会場からの音声でお伝えしています。映像の方は和歌山県串本町にありますスペースポートキーロケット射場からのライブ映像をご覧いただいています。
This is Spaceport Key and the rocket is Kyros 2.
時に予定しております。日本で初の民間企業によるロケットの打ち上げカイロスロケット2号機午前11時の打ち上げ予定時刻まであと4分となりました。1分前になりましたら皆様と共にカウントダウンを行いたいと思います。
Unavailable. What is a Kelly sheet? Yeah. Kelvin, Celsius, and Fahrenheit. Kelly sheet. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Tesla. Yeah, Call of Duty. You gotta call in an airstrike. Kill a second. Move to Florida. The sun doesn't change so much. Yeah, I'd love to. What happened to their live broadcasters? It was fun watching their faces change on a mission failure. That was Jackson, dude. That wasn't Kyros. I can't, Oculus. I'm covering a rocket launch right now.
打ち上げまであと3分となりました。映像は和歌山県串本町にありますスペースポートキーロケット射場からのライブ映像。そして音声は和歌山県那智勝浦町にある旧浦上小学校のカイロスロケット2号機打ち上げ応援会の会場からお伝えしています。日本で初めての民間企業によるロケットの打ち上げカイロスロケット2号機の打ち上げは午前11時の予定です。時刻の方は10時57分を回りもう間もなく打ち上げまであと2分というところになります。1分前になりましたら皆様でカウントダウンを行いたいと思います。
T-2 minutes.
打ち上げ2分前となりました。1分前からのカウントダウン、皆様大きな声でお願いいたします。
Oh, turn the mic off. Yuri, we should do that. I think we need to do that. I think that's important. Are you playing anime in the background? No.
日本で初めての民間企業によるロケットの打ち上げ、カイロスロケット2号機の打ち上げまで今1分前となりました。さあ、それではここからカウントダウンを行いたいと思います。55、54、53、52、51、50、49、48、47、46、45、44、43、42、41、40、39、38、37、36、35、34、33、32、31、30秒前、28、27、26、25、24、23、22、21、20秒前、18、17、16、 15秒前、13、12、11、10、9、
9,
8、
8,
7、
7,
6、
6,
5、
5,
4、
4,
Oh,
3,
oh, this is space.
2,
I'm in space.
1, ignition.
0。
There we go, liftoff, Kyros 2. Dang, she got out of the hole quick. Come on. Vehicles pitch over. Dude, that thing is smoking. Yeah! Everything looked good there. Oh, she's getting a little wiggly. Bloom's casting a shadow in the morning in Japan. Okay.
カイロスロケットが今串本町、那智勝浦町、和歌山県、
That was a
そ
heck
して
of a turn.
日本中の機体を推進力に
Dude, that thing
仕上が
cooks,
りまし
man.
た。
See that thing go? That was awesome. There's 2 payloads on board, weather guy. Yeah. Dude, it took a heck of a dog leg out of the whole TWR. That was like 4 TWR, at least 4. 3 to 4, I'd say. Dude, that thing is booking. I like it. It's awesome. Yeah, right. Is that supposed... I don't think that's supposed to do that. Is it supposed to do that? Is it supposed to drift do up into space? Oh, no. Yeah, that's spinning out of control. It's doing this. Yeah, no. See? Oh, God. Oh, God. Kerbal. Ah. Oh, dang. That sucks. Come on, little rocket. Go.
カイロスロケット2号機の打ち上げ、ご覧いただきました。打ち上げの方が成功したかどうかというのはまたこの後正式な発表を待ちたいと思います。この後はですね、ロケットが無事打ち上がっている場合は、分離した衛星が軌道に乗って成功ということになります。
Too much boost.
最後まで成功したかどうかが分かるのは、およそ1時間後ということでございます。情報が入り次第、会場の皆様にお知らせをいたします。もちろんスペースワンのホームページにも掲載予定となっております。会場の皆様と一緒にカイロスロケット2号機の打ち上げをこの瞬間を見ることができたということを本当に感謝したいと思います。この後、打ち上げが成功したかどうかという情報は届き次第また皆様方にお伝えをしたいと思います。お帰りのご案内はまたこちらからアナウンスを差し上げたいと思っております。今しばらく会場内の方でお楽しみください。
Yeah, you're welcome for watching. Dude, something... That turn right at the beginning, I'm like, I don't think it's supposed to do that, dudes.
5、4、
Watch this. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you on replay. Dude, that thing books. Oh, I love it. Like, that looks great. That looks real good. Everything's real good right here. But I did see something. It might be the glare. There's a little bit of staminki coming from the side of the rocket, but it might just be the sunlight. Yeah, that's just a reflection. Yeah, it's just a reflection. It's just a reflection. That all looks real fine to me, dude. That looks real good. Supersonic right there. So they're in transonic. We saw it, or at least close to it, to the point where you're getting vapor cones build up on the vehicle. But it looks like this thing got to transonic and started having some problems. Look, it's wiggling around. It goes to do another pitch over there and then goes spring. It just turns. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, dude, that's not induced. Look at Starbase Live right now. Nice. Could be wind shear. That's what a couple of people, that's Oxalex was saying that over in Twitch chat. It could be wind shear. Dude, I can't see the vehicle X-Wing. I can't tell you what that is. Maybe the front fell off. No, you'd see it if the payload fairing failed. It would just look like confetti. See how you're getting... It's doing this, guys. It's doing that. So, I would say guidance. Mutter, you said PIDs. I think you're right. Look, it's doing that. It's kind of correcting back and forth. When that happens, you can get into a control system induced oscillation loop, where you're just... The thing will just do this until it can't do it anymore, and then it starts doing circles. Wakarimasen. I do not understand. Yep. Yeah, Ingenuber. Yeah. It was wiggling. I told you it needed more struts. It's an AIM 9. It's a little bigger than an AIM 9, dude. But see, look, you can see she's wiggling back and forth, and then I saw it right here, and I'm like, nah, that's no good, because that means the rocket's flying like this. It's going this way, but it's pointed up. That could be a thrust vector control failure. It could be that. It could be guidance system parameters not good. Could be lack of separation, Tessa. Yeah, that's could be. Speed wobbles on a skateboard. Yeah. That sucks. That's too real, man. That's too real. Oh my goodness. Do a barrel roll. It's possible, Tessa. Yeah. So, we were 2 for 3 on rocket launches for the day. Dude. Me and KSP. I can save it! Oh, that sucks so hard, man. That's not cool. You don't wish failure on anybody, man. That sucks. So yeah, Kyros 2 unfortunately had a problem in the first stage on the way up. They got further than last time. Dude, look at that thing. Yeah! That's awesome. Dude, that thing books. Are they trying to do anything like SpaceX with the high flight rate, high fills rate? I don't think it's iterative, Yuri. I really don't. Dude, what a monster. See the vapor cones? Now, guys, once again, vapor cones don't necessarily mean you're breaking the sound barrier. Don't get confused. That thing's breaking the sound barrier with all that being said. Did you see how fast it's going? You're in transonic here, easily. With a SRB small sat launcher like this, you're into transonic all day. Absolutely brute forced past max Q. Well, that could have been the problem, dude. Dude, the way that plume is kind of propagating makes it look like the thrust vector control system is doing this. This is Kyros. Kyros is a private company, Ingenuber. Oh, yeah, see, that's bad. Look at the plume right here. Back it up a little bit. Look. See, now don't get me wrong, the plume squiggles out, but look, you can clearly see that the rock, like, look, this way, this way, this way, this way, and then overcorrection. See it? It's kind of hard to tell, but it goes this way, it goes that way, and then it overcorrects that way, and then it overcorrects back, and then it overcorrects that way. See what I'm talking about? That's the nozzle doing this. No, I don't think it's too much thrust. That looks to be a control system or thrust vector malfunction. If that's right at the cloud layer, it could be wind shear. Wind shear weather guy would absolutely, yeah, a vertical wind shear right there could overpower, it could gimbal lock your thrust vector control system. Yeah, absolutely. Basically, right, so like guys, we're talking vertical wind shear. So just because it's windy down here on the ground doesn't mean it's not super windy up there. The vertical wind shear is the change in wind shear velocity, could be directional or velocity in, at different altitudes. Running into high wind shear, and some people said this in the chat during lunch, running into high wind shear is basically like flying your rocket into a wall. And now, the wind shear didn't totally obliterate the rocket, but a turn like that could be a Q-induced stress load from vertical wind shear, meaning it hit the wall and it bounced and went in a different direction. Exactly, article, yeah. How do they gimbal a solid rocket engine? By moving the nozzle. Here, I can show you. I'll use the space shuttle nozzle, but it's generally the same idea, Pop. So the space shuttle has those aft skirts, right? They taper out at the back end of the rocket. Inside of that aft skirt, there's a thrust vector control system, and the nozzle actually can move back and forth independently of the throat. Yep. A lot of SRBs do that. Minotaur does that. Minotaur 3, Minotaur 4, Minotaur 5, I think, does that. There are GEM60s and AJ60As that do that. Both GEM60s and AJ60As don't fly anymore, but yeah. They should not try to launch in that kind of wind shear, though. Yeah, I mean, I guess if it is wind shear, we don't know for sure, but that definitely looks to be wind shear induced. Or their guidance system failed miserably. Yeah, X-Wing, you might be right, dude. You might be right. I missed it. What happened? That, goalie. What about a combination of both? Usually rockets don't fail because of one particular thing, Ponzister, right? So it ricocheted off the air. If the vertical wind shear and the thrust vector is right passing, yeah, it'd be like skipping stone off over a pond. Yeah, sure, absolutely. You missed the earth-shattering kaboom. Yeah, goalie, you tell me if that's what you want. If that's a good idea, that's a good thing. Here, and then let's go a little bit further into the mission. Watch. Oh no. That's so hard to watch, man. Oh, that sucks so bad, dude. That sucks. Anyway. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, Aqualex. I was looking at it, dude, for sure. Anyway, guys. Well, that was three rocket launches in one day for me. And I've been basically going like on and off streaming since 8:30 this morning. So It's fine. The Rocket's trying out for an aerobatics team. Oh, if that was the case, then it just did real good. I never got to that last thing that I wanted to share, but we'll share on Space News tomorrow. Guys, I'm a little bit tired, so don't spend all those coupons at once. I agree. KSP time. Now you want to... Here, look at Starbase Live. Go sleep. Let's just say there's a reason why I was up for L149. The dog woke me up at 5 a.m. I've been up since then. Not great. Titan was sleeping next to me on the bed and then had a dream where he was running around. So he was moving his paws back and forth right here. Right in this area right here. Like right in this area right here. That was a very weird thing to wake up to. Bro, go drool into your pillow. That's cute. It was not cute for my back, dude. Yeah, poison for sure. It's a very festive crane. Starman has a sombrero. It is not Starman, it's a Starman. A Star Hombre. Etel's playing Hearts of Iron. Alright, we can go raid Etel. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna stop for now. We'll not do after hours because I've been here since this morning. Woken by doggy dreams is nice unless it isn't. This case, not so much. Could have been worse. He could have thought you were the squirrel he was chasing. So, Titan howls in his sleep sometimes. Sometimes just... Like, that's an interesting thing to wake up to. Yeah. That dog has some strange dreams, man. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Anyway, guys, we're going to raid my buddy Etel over on the Twitch side of things. If you're on the YouTube side of things, I'll see you guys tomorrow. But if you're on the Twitch side of things, let's go El Starmeno. He has dreams. Yes, very nice. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Same time, same place. You want more Hearts of Iron tomorrow? For real? Really? I'm not going to tell you what we'll play tomorrow. Alright. I wanted to play Satisfactory, dudes, to be honest with you. Maybe we'll do Hearts for after hours, okay? Let's go see what Italics is up to. And I'll talk to you guys all then. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and have a good night, okay?